Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Steph, and if you're not new, thanks for coming back. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know that my YouTube journey started as Fife Free Cleaning, in which we cleaned people's homes for free who were struggling. Well, as people will know, as of late, Danielle, the co-founder of Fife Free Cleaning, has taken an indefinite step back from the company, but I am trying to continue doing these free cleans by myself, sometimes with the help of my friends, which may or may not be Danielle or Megs or Stevie, just my friends. And so instead of posting on the Fife Free Cleaning channel to make things easier on myself with editing and voiceovers and channel management, I am migrating any of the new cleans over to this channel, but it will be in a separate playlist called the Fife Free Cleaning playlist. This is the very first video of us doing that, so you might hear this explanation over the next few videos, but it's just for any new viewers and to remind people that this is where the new cleans are. As you can see, this is myself cleaning a kitchen, and I will get into the story of that. While I'm navigating doing these voiceovers by myself, there will be some trial and error. I am going to try different things. There might be the original audio, there might be me doing a voiceover the entire time. The lengths of the video will also change as I'm trying some new editing styles, that kind of thing. So bear with me, and any feedback is appreciated, but just remember that this is my channel, and while I do welcome feedback, that doesn't mean I will necessarily take it on board. You know, you can't please everybody. And when I first started the Fife Free Cleaning channel, I did make the mistake of asking for feedback in one of the early videos, to which somebody said that they didn't like my voice. And then when our channel went viral and I brought that up, about 400 people commented on the video saying that they do like my voice and not to listen to the negative people. And I felt really bad because there was literally one comment, because at the time our videos only got about 10 views. So I just want to apologize to that one person who was just offering feedback like I had asked, and then got like bashed by 400 people. Anyway, I'm just going to jump straight in and tell you this resident's story. So they sent me a text message after I had been to this clean. I had asked them just, you know, if there's anything they want to share about their story, please send it to me in a message and I would just read it out. So I'm just going to jump right in and tell you the message. Hi. So yes, I've been suffering from fibromyalgia for 3 years, but only been diagnosed with it in the past 6 months. The pains I've been suffering has really affected my health from doing a lot of physical things and also being on quite strong medication for it. And once things got on top of me, I started hiding, which is why the property got the way it did. I seen the post on Facebook somewhere and decided it was best just seeing what help I could get, and I'm really grateful for the help, as now I can get use of my kitchen again. I live alone and don't really have any family or friends, so I don't have the same support options as a lot of other people may have. I was really anxious initially, but definitely feel way better with how much you done for me, and I'm really grateful. So I thought it was quite poetic that the very first solo clean that I did by myself was for somebody who has been suffering from fibromyalgia and has just recently been diagnosed, because that really resonates with myself, who also suffers from fibromyalgia and was just recently diagnosed. And I think it just goes to show the difference that a good support network makes, because I'm out here doing free cleans for people. And yes, I do struggle with my own house. If you're a regular viewer of this channel, you will see those struggles yourself. But also, you know, you get good days, you get bad days, but once those bad days start building up and the mess starts building up, if you don't have that support network, you don't have anybody to help you on those bad days, which has obviously been the case in this situation. And one of the reasons that I prioritise this case is because this resident does have 2 young children who they see part-time, and they haven't actually been able to bring the children back to this house while the kitchen has been in this condition. And so I'm just really glad that now that the house is in better condition, they will be able to see their children in a more stable environment, which is really good. So I'll just tell you a little bit about the products that I've been using in this video so far. I pretty much just used elbow grease because there was a lot of caked on grease in this kitchen. What I'm scraping right now was sugar. There seemed to be a lot of sugar like crusted onto the bunker. There wasn't a toaster in this clean. I know it was kind of a running joke in the Fife Free Cleaning videos that there would always be a toaster clean and Danielle doing thumbs up and dancing, and it was like a little bingo situation going on. Unfortunately, there was no toaster in this property, but I did make sure to clean all the small appliances, which you see some of that you don't see it, but you can see the end result kind of thing. I do slow things down to show you things, but then when I'm editing, I never remember to actually keep them slowed down to show you. And also sometimes the camera goes in and out of focus because the rooms that we work in are quite small, and so the camera, sometimes I'm in front of it, sometimes I'm not, but I'm getting better with the angles, so just bear with me. Anyway, I think I've said all that there really is to say in terms of the situation, and what I'm doing is pretty self-explanatory. So I think for the next few minutes, I'm just going to let you listen to the original audio sounds. Climbing up on that windowsill was terrifying. So I am actually very scared of heights, and also because I was letting the soap sit on the sink for the product to work, everything was a little bit slidey as well. And yeah, it was so scary because this is like a flat, or some people might call it an apartment, so it's quite high up. So I was just trying not to look out of the window. Also, you will see that I am wearing like a white PPE outfit, but then when I stop for lunch, when I come back in, I don't actually have that on, but I do always wear my mask because anybody that has followed us for a while knows that I have quite a lot of allergies, and I did take quite a bad asthma attack like this time last year, and so now that I don't have Danielle with me doing the cleans, I have to be extra careful to make sure I'm wearing appropriate PPE to avoid any incidents like that. Also, I am wearing headphones, and during this clean, if anybody is interested, I was listening to a fan fiction, a Dramini fan fiction, and it was called Meet Your Match, and it's by Morrigan Mercy, and you can find it on Archive of Our Own, just if anybody is interested in listening to that kind of thing. Now, what you will find me doing in this kitchen is I spray product and I let it sit for quite a while before going in and cleaning it. So you will have seen that with some of the bunkers and the cupboard fronts. I was spraying the elbow grease, letting it sit, then going back in and wiping it or scraping it. And then with the sink, I just used Very Up liquid, which is like the equivalent of Dawn dish soap. And again, I let that sit and work its magic and then go back in and clean it, which you will get to see. And then for the stove top, I used Mr. Muscle oven cleaner, but that stuff hates me. Like, it actually hates me. It never sprays properly. So I will probably find an alternative to that once all of our Mr. Muscle product runs out. But yeah, I let that sit with some cling film, or I think people call it saran wrap, over the top of it. And that is a technique that I learned from Ari Katerina. And then my favourite thing of this clean was cleaning down all the cupboard fronts, because they were so greasy and dirty that it was really satisfying. It was also a lot harder than it looks. Like, even with letting the product sit, it still took quite a bit of scrubbing to get things off. Also, I do not do any of the dishes in this property because the sink was really blocked, and I even got very DIY and took off the U-bend on the sink and I used like a full tub of like drain cleaner. That didn't work, so then I removed the U-bend, cleared that out, but the blockage is further along the pipe, which makes it no longer the tenant's responsibility. This is a council property, so I said, you're going to have to get the council out to come and like fix that before any of the dishes can be washed. And so that's why I don't wash any of the dishes in the property. For anybody that is new here, I also just want to make clear that I am not a professional cleaner. I don't claim to even be very good at cleaning. On this channel, we just improve people's situations. Whatever we do is going to be better than it was. And so that's why our kind of standing motto is progress, not perfection, which is a saying that I first heard from living with Cambria years ago, before these free cleaning channels actually started. So now, as you can see, this must be after I have stopped for lunch, and there is the phone notification, which if you're new here, you will come to see that is a regular occurrence. When I record these voiceovers, I just press start and I start recording. There is no script, there's no going back and taking anything out. Sometimes I'll make a faux pas and say something that might come across as offensive. I just want you to know that I never mean it in that way, and I am always open to being educated if I do say something wrong. So I did clean out some of the cupboards that were already empty or that needed a little bit of organisation. There was a lot of things spilled in the majority of the cupboards, so you do get to see me doing that, and some of the drawers as well. With the stovetop, I do not ever remove the knobs, I think they're called, from a cooker, because years ago I hired cleaners to come into my own house and they removed the knobs off of my cooker, which actually broke it because they were not supposed to be removed. They were like fixed on there, and now they don't, like some of them don't work properly and I've had to fix them. So that's not something I ever do. I don't want to cause any damage in people's houses. And then the other thing is I do use a scraper, but I'm always very careful with how I use it or where I use it. There are two different attachments on the scraper that I use. One is plastic, one is metal. I always try and use the plastic one where I can because it is less likely to cause damage, and I only use the metal one if not a stain, like if a thing is being absolutely stubborn and I can't get it off. In terms of the stovetop as well, I did not have the time in this property, or in the majority of the properties that I go in, to let the products sit for as long as that I would like, and that is why they never come up absolutely perfect. But you know, doing this over like several visits, or leaving the product for longer, would definitely get better results. So if your own stove is looking like that and you need to do it, then the technique definitely does work. You just have to let time do its magic. As you just seen as well, you got an example of the famous Scottish box stands where I stomped down the cardboard to make it flatter to fit in the bin. Also, if you do like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. I will aim to put up one of these free cleans at least once a month. I am trying to do more than once a month in terms of actually doing the cleans, but I'm trying to be kinder to myself, and if I am struggling to get out there to do a clean, or I don't have the time to edit, then I do have some back footage sitting there. So as it stands right now, I have actually done 2 additional cleans since doing this clean, which will allow me to have a little bit of footage in the reserves, as they say. And this is the, I think, final thing that I actually clean in the property, and it's just the draining rack. At this point the sink is draining very slowly and a small amount, so I was able to clean this. I just wasn't able to do the dishes. So I just want to thank everybody very much for watching, and yeah, please leave a comment and like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.